Well, for those who just saw the trailer, I'm surprised. You actually wanted to hear the story. Okay, for those here who didn't see the trailer, which I really wish you did, you might be thinking, what's up? Well, I'm going to be telling you guys a story about trains where they were far apart, but two engines were able to bring them together. And this is how it all started. But let's go back in time to the time of the 1940s and 1950s.
Reach for the speed, reach for the whistle, go where the rail may run. Reach for the words, reach for the story, follow the rainbow sun. To a shining time station, where dreams can come true. Your own imagination waiting there for you.
Welcome to the Bucket Desert, a basin of sand residing in the state of Nevada, stretching for 90 miles between the towns of Fort Fairfax and Lakehurst. And as the case elsewhere in this time period, ribbons of steel piece through this desert and bring the rumble and roar of the trains across this land. For this is the Full Bucket Line. Ah, here's one of our characters, Luke Golden State, or just Luke for short. Now Luke here is the premier Southern Pacific passenger steam locomotive here on the Full Bucket Line. He pulls one of the premier daylight passenger trains for the Southern Pacific. Oh, here comes one of our other main characters, Stephen Ultz, or just Ultz. Now he works for the Union Pacific Railroad as their heavy freight engine. Now, you must know that since Ultz works for the Union Pacific and Luke works for the Southern Pacific, they don't get along. They're enemies, rivals. But that was all going to change. And this is how it all began. One day, Luke was at Simonville getting ready to depart with the Full Bucket Liner Daylight bound for Fort Fairfax. But Ultz was cutting him off with a freight train.
Hurry up, you old slowpoke. I gotta get to Fort Fairfax.
I don't need to listen to you. Besides, why should I listen to an SP boy anyways?
You know what? You UP fat boys are just a big pain in the butt.
We don't have butts, you idiot!
Eventually, Luke was given clearance to depart, and he puffed away angrily.
Stupid thing.
Later, when Ultz arrived at Lakehurst with his hopper train, he was briefed on his next assignment. He needed to take a rather large Pacific Fruit Express train back to Fort Fairfax. But unbeknownst to him, his air brakes weren't working properly. Soon, Ultz departed from Lakehurst unaware of his air brake issues. As he was descending a near 2% grade, he tried to apply his air brakes, but he couldn't. He started picking up speed and he couldn't stop.
Help! Help! I can't stop!
When the news reached Luke, all he did was scoff.
Well, it serves him right for being such a jerk.
But Luke's engineer had other thoughts.
But Luke, what would happen if he crashes?
Luke paused for a moment, and suddenly felt uncomfortable at the thought of Ultz crashing.
You're right. We gotta help him. We've gotta save Ultz.
After clearing it with the dispatcher, Luke set off from Fort Fairfax on the rescue mission. Soon, Luke catched up to Ultz's train.
Help! Luke! Luke!
Ultz, are you okay?
I'm not off the rails, but I can't slow down on my own. I need your help.
Then it's a good thing I'm here. I'll try and get ahead of you at the next junction so I can couple onto you. Hang on, buddy.
After crossing over the junction, Luke got ahead of Ultz's train and prepared to catch Ultz gradually.
Be careful, Luke!
Luke slowly closed the gap until, at last,
Luke, you're connected!
All right, hang on.
Luke applied his brakes fiercely. The train screeched along the rails as Luke put his weight against Ultz and his train. Until finally, he brought the train to a halt.
Whew. You right back there, Ultz?
I am now. Still a little shaken up, but I'll be alright.
Well, let's get you back to Fort Fairfax. You'll have your brakes fixed up in no time.
As Luke began to pull Ultz and his train to Fort Fairfax, Ultz didn't say a word. After arriving in Fort Fairfax, Luke brought Ultz to the shops to be inspected. But before he could depart, Ultz broke the silence.
Hey, Luke, I just want to say thanks again for saving my tender back there.
Not a problem, Ultz.
My question is, why did you even bother to do it? We're from rival companies.
Well, we may be from rival railroads, but we're both steam engines at the end of the day. We gotta pull through together when the going gets tough. Am I right?
Yes, you are. Thank you, Luke.
You're welcome, Ultz.
After that fateful day, Luke and Ultz became firm friends. While they may argue from time to time, they managed to get along very well. The other engines of the Southern Pacific and Union Pacific weren't too happy about this friendship. But that's another story.